I found me a spot to camp. Just trying to figure out, the wind is coming from there. So I'm going to want the tent on this side and the fire on this side. Top of my pack. Here's my tent. So let's get to it. Okay, I'm going to do a fast fly setup. I'm not going to set up my tent. I'm just going to put the footprint down and the rain fly. So we'll start with the footprint. I'm going to want my head here and my feet there. The wind's coming this way, so the vestibule on the left side I'll peg down, and the vestibule on this side I will not. I'll open up the tent so the wind will be blocked from that side. The anchor points are color coded. Gray is the head side. Orange is the foot side. And that's consistent right through the full tent. Next is the poles. The thing about the fast fly setup is if it was raining and you didn't want your tent to get wet, you would do what I'm doing. And then once you're done with that, you would set up the tent sort of from the inside. Or from underneath, I guess you could say. So you would get wet until you get the rain fly up and you can get under it. But your tent and the floor of the tent and the stuff that's going to go inside would stay dry. Okay. So that just fits conveniently in the grommets. See, orange on orange. So let's take a look. So this big rock is a piece of paracord that ties off to both sides of the vestibule door. Okay, and this is an anchor point for the side, and you see these two anchor points, 1, 2, they go down and they connect to that one rock there, and that anchor point there connects to this big rock. This is another corner. And vestibule is open on the leeward side. Here's another corner. And again, we've got 1, 2 connected to one rock down there, and then the one in the center connected to this rock, and this is the corner. Okay, bedclothes. Bedclothes, sleeping bag, sleeping pad, and everything else. Now, I got a puffy. I didn't have one last week, and I kind of could have used one when I was sleeping. My Nemo Tensor sleeping pad. This is the largest size available, and it takes about 45 breaths. Here we go. Now that's pretty well as hard as you can get this pad. Now quite often what I find is once I'm in bed it's a little bit too hard, so what I'll do is I'll take some of the air out. It's always better to start with too much air where you can let a little bit out than if you're in bed and you want to try to inflate it. It's a real pain in the butt. So that's there. Next I've got my sleeping bag. This is good to 40 degrees Fahrenheit, which I think is about 6 Celsius. Now I consider this a summer type sleeping bag. Okay. Pillow bag. So I've got this little, I call this an extra pillow. I just use it when I'm reading. This is pillow for my head, but it's my secondary pillow for my head. I forgot the main pillow is here. I call this a base pillow. One side is slippery and one side is kind of velvety. The velvety side I put down. It'll slip less. So there's that. There's this. I've got my little pillow. And then I got an inflatable which I put under my right knee. Because I've had a ligament reconstruction and I like to have my knee slightly bent and elevated. So yes, I do travel with 4 pillows, but they're all nice and light. Now, I've got extra clothes in here. My puffy is there. I'll use this as my bag, so anything I need to put away. I'll put that there. Put that there for now. Okay, let's take a look at things. I've got a little plastic ground sheet I'll put right there, just to stop things from getting dusty and stuff. Let's get out of these shoes. Okay, time to get a fire going. I've got these little barbecue lighters. They burn like anything. Less than an hour to sunset, so I want to get the fire going, so there'll be lots of coals for barbecuing. Now the charcoal. It's getting there. Coals are going along well. That's all I really need. Just enough to barbecue. Let's see, I've got a yam to bake. And I've got salmon. Salmon and yam, salmon and yam, salmon and yam. This is what I'm looking at. Last week, I was right up there. And this is what's on the other side of me. So this is all the Tuwaiq escarpment. It runs for, I think it's 700 kilometers across Saudi Arabia. I can hear people shouting from edge of the world. If there's anybody camping, I'll see some lights, fire or something like that. When I got a bit of time, I'll sharpen the knife. I used it to baton some of this wood before I left home, so it has been dulled. Although I don't really, there's nothing I really need to do here where I need a sharp knife. This is a Fullkniven S1, which is a very good knife. It looks pretty basic. There's really not much to it to look at it. It's not a real beautiful knife, but it's almost, I'm told, indestructible. Last summer I filleted fish with it. It's a little bit too thick. It's not thin enough really to do a good filleting job. I think next year when I'm back in North America, I'll get a small filleting knife that I'll carry also. I'm in a canoe or a boat. Weight isn't as much of an issue as when you're hiking in. When you're hiking, every ounce kind of counts. Got the yam bacon there. That should probably take maybe half an hour. You can probably only see a light up there, but that's where I was last week. Of course, I wasn't there at night time. It looks like there's a car or two parked up there. I think that's pretty well done. Try this out. Start with the yam. It's nice and soft and steaming. Yam didn't take very long. Probably only less than half an hour. Let's try the salmon. Oh, it's hot. Good thing about being out here in the desert is you don't have to worry about bears. And here I'm far enough away from civilization that you don't have to worry about dogs, because places where people picnic regularly, closer to the city, there's a lot of dogs around. I mean, the problem is people leave their garbage, they don't take it with them, so the dogs, for them it's a little feast. The dogs aren't really dangerous. They bark a lot, but they won't usually attack. But in the middle of the night, if you get dogs around, the noise scares you, because you don't really know what they are. And if you shine a flashlight, if they're at a distance, all you see is these green eyes. Now look at that. Banana bread with Philadelphia cream cheese icing. Bae, if you're watching this, thank you very much. You're too good for me. You're a good woman, I'm a bad man. Sorry I make you cry sometimes. Anyway, I'm going to eat this and I'm going to think of you. Carrot cake with cream cheese frosting with pecans on top. One of the benefits of car camping is you can carry this stuff. If I was hiking in here, I definitely wouldn't have room for this. It's 6 o'clock. It's pretty well pitch dark. It's an early sunset in Saudi Arabia in the winter time. Time for bed. First, let's take my vitamins. Got my knife handy. Don't think I'll need it. Not as cold as it was a week ago. It doesn't seem it, but I guess we'll just see what it's like in the middle of the night. I'm just going to sleep on top of the sleeping bag at first. Oh, excuse my gut. Oh yeah, look at that. I got my underwear on inside out. Well, I don't think. Switch it round in front of you. Anyway, good night, and we'll see you in the morning. Come on. Good morning. Well, you're probably wondering, what's Rod doing in the hammock with Princess in the city? Well, I woke up in the middle of the night in the desert. It was like 3/4 of a moon, so it was really, really bright. And I decided to see if I could navigate the car out of the desert in the middle of the night. So I packed up, drove back. I made it, obviously. It's a bit more difficult at night because you got to make sure you get on the right roads. You don't want to get stuck. And I arrived back here in the middle of the night. It's 6 o'clock in the morning now. It's about 19 degrees. So I spent the night on this hammock with Princess here. My other cat, Grady, who's over there now, was right here. So I think this is the last week that I'll have a vehicle, so from now on I'll be hiking in. Anyway, once again, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. And until I see you again, take care. Yeah, say hi to the camera, Princess. You need a bath, Princess. Oh, look at all the fur shedding, eh? Look at all the fur. Princess doesn't like sleeping inside. She's an outdoor cat, but whenever I sleep in the backyard, she's right on me. This is Grayling. Grayling, you don't like this.